Good morning, folks, and a happy Monday. So, I can't really go to practice because I have no vehicle now because my car is, well, toasted, as y'all saw Saturday. So, I guess we're going to get out here, run some codes on it, and then find out where we can take it, get an idea of what's going on with it before we just take it somewhere. Then find out where we can take it, and hopefully get the process of getting me back in a vehicle started today. For the ones who don't know how one of these little things work, it's an OB2 reader. You usually have something right down here where you plug it in. You turn your car onto where you were gonna listen to music. You plug that joker in, and it'll run the scan. Let you know what's in the ballpark wrong with your vehicle. We got a P137, which is a oxygen sensor. P137, P137. And just like that, now we have a understanding of what is going on with our car. And now we can take it somewhere and have an idea of what they're gonna say. And if they say something else completely out of the ballpark, I could be like, well, sir, you are indeed wrong. I just don't want to do the work on it myself, so yeah, I'm gonna take it somewhere else. But let's get inside, eat some breakfast, research our codes, and then find someone who will come and pick up our car and take it to the mechanic. After trying all of breakfast and then trying for the past hour to find a tow who will come out to me and get my car and take it to the mechanic, we have finally found one, I think. So, stay tuned. Maybe we will eventually get my car to a mechanic today. Well, our tow got here a whole lot quicker than we expected. They said an hour, and they were here 15 minutes after I got off the phone with them. So that is a win for the day. Let's head over to the church and see if we can talk to the preacher about yesterday's service and get a better understanding about the way that I felt about it, and I guess a deeper understanding on what our guest speaker was speaking on, so that I'm not lost of faith, I guess you could say. But I will catch y'all here in a bit. Well, folks, unfortunately, we had just missed the preacher, but we did get his number, so we were able to message him, and hopefully he'll reach back out to us and he can answer the questions that we're having. But for now, let's go knock out a run. Well, folks, we just made it to the park. Let's go knock out this run, get in better shape today than we were flipping yesterday. I wonder if they want to be my friend. They don't look very friendly. I was trying to get a bit closer, but they went away. Dang. I don't think there's too many things better than running with nature. We were supposed to be running out and then running back to the car, but I think we're gonna take a pause here because we've gotten sidetracked by the pretty pond. I have no idea why, but we have, so I guess we're gonna do our shadow boxing right here, and then we will finish our run all the way to the car. So while our heart rate's still up, let's get to the shadow box. And of course, be able to marvel in this beauty. Well, let's get back to the car and finish up this run. Folks, when you take yourself to deep places, you can think about those deep questions that you have and the answers to them. And sometimes you do get the answers, or at least closer to the path of those answers. At least I believe. Back to yesterday. I'm not saying that I have the answers. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm not saying miracles don't happen and there's not spiritual intervention in people's lives and in the world. But what I am saying is, as people simplify Christ way too much. You're going to find Christ and your life is going to immediately start getting better. It may start getting better, but it may not start getting easier, because by no means do I think it's easier to get up every day and go work out, push myself as hard as I possibly can, while being as positive minded as I possibly could be all day long, and trying to look into the positive of everything and finding the good in everything. I don't think that's easier than laying in bed, not caring about who or what I do, or my future, or my family's future, or seeing bad in everything. I think it's a whole lot easier to live a life that I lived before Christ than after Christ. But at the same time, the life that I'm living now is most definitely a better life. You get what I'm saying? That old life is easy. The new life is hard, but it's a better life. And I think a lot of people simplify Christ way too much, and they forget that as humans, we do have willpower. God gave us willpower. And while, yes, you can go find Christ and you can believe that he is your savior, but you can still live a worldly life. You know what I mean? And at any point, even after you've hopped on the path of, I am following Christ and I'm no longer part of this world, you can just as easily hop back off of it as easily as you hopped onto it. You know what I mean? So I guess preachers don't need to simplify Christ so much. Christ isn't simple. Christ is a very, very, very powerful and confusing being. And you ought to respect Sometimes you may have worries and you may have questions and problems, and you've prayed about it, and you're not getting a direct answer. You're not getting the billboard sign that, hey, this is it. And you're not getting some voices talking in your head telling you that this is the answer. But what he can do, and what he does do, is he does put you into places, and he does put you around people, and he will give you paths to get you out of your problems and give you the answers to things, but you got to work for them. And sometimes he takes you to a park and makes you go on a run, and then you end up at a lake thinking about all the questions that you had, and somehow you get some weird thought of wisdom that honestly you can't think of yourself because you're not that smart. So of course God does do miracles and does have spiritual intervention in our lives, but we got willpower too, and we have to be the ones to guide ourselves along with him through this journey. That makes sense. And I also just think that some people listen to everything that people say and don't dig deeper into it and actually think about it themselves. They just allow other people to do the thinking for them, because thinking is also not easy. But it's a better life to live, a life of thinking and trying to figure out problems and trying to become a better person. But now that we have knocked out our run, and I think we're getting closer to the resolve after yesterday's sermon, let's go get some grub. Oh, and I almost forgot, during our run, the preacher reached back out to us. So tomorrow at 3:30, we are going to go and just chit-chat about the thoughts and ideas that are going through our head. Lunch was great, but it's a Monday, so now it's time to go freeze our asses off and tell ourselves that it's building mental fortitude. I can't lie to y'all, folks. I don't want to get in this ice bath. Like, I could tell you a million things I want to do. I don't want to get in this ice bath. We're going to do it. Look, we're in it. Tougher today than we were flipping yesterday, folks. I'm definitely not saying all of your life problems can be solved with an ice bath, nor am I even really saying that I agree that all of the health benefits that they say can come from ice baths are 100% true. But one thing I will say is that ice baths will definitely make you feel better after you get out of them. Now, while you're in it, you're miserable. You're hating it. But once that timer goes off, you're like, ah. And then you just have a release of endorphins, a rush of dopamine, and you are just feeling like nothing can beat you. I will say that. Now that we got that over with, let's see if we can battle off the rest of these aliens and get back to Earth. Well, folks, sadly, we did not have enough time to make it back to Earth. But maybe next time. Maybe next time. I'm thinking we're close to the end. We're on chapter 11. There is only 12 chapters. But today, we just happened to run out of time. But let's go get better today than we were yesterday. After getting in a little TikTok discussion over training to failure and then getting called out by some steroid-using moron, we're finally off to get better today than we were yesterday. Well, shoot. I just spilt my water all in old blue. Bro really thought making a response video to me with him doing more weight on curls would, like, somehow upset me. But, like, I don't really care, bro. I'm still leaner than you, and I'm natural. So, good job, buddy. You just gave me a free shout-out. Thanks. Deuces, homie. Have a great night. Finally out of the door and better today than we were yesterday. While we were in the class today, this guy who I was talking about before I had went to class has deleted everything that would prove me wrong. Any comment that I have messaged that would prove him wrong, and has made yet again another post and put a lot of effort into this one. I don't think he understands that I'm a fighter and he's a bodybuilder and we have different goals, yet he's over here trying to bash me, trying to get a rise out of me. Brother, you're not going to get a rise out of me. I don't care what you think about me. If you don't like me, just move on. You don't have to make 7 videos about me, you weirdo. I bet bro also believes in not doing cardio, but enough of him. Let's get home, clean up, and grub them. Home, and on my way home I got to thinking, you know, I may be new to this internet thing, but if there's one thing that I do know is internet etiquette. And you're not technically supposed to punch down at people, you're always supposed to punch up. And what does that mean? It means if you're trying to bash someone with a smaller following than you, and this guy has a significantly larger following than me, it makes you look like a weirdo. You get what I'm saying? And not to mention, you're deleting everything that I'm saying that has to do with proving myself correct and yourself wrong. So then it just makes you look even weirder. Not to mention, you're not natural. Not to mention, like, you said you were leaner than me, and then you took a picture of you flexing as hard as you can, and then took a picture of me just taking my shirt off. Like, that's really weird. Not to mention, bro doesn't even have visible abs. So, like, how could he be leaner than me? Weirdo. Last comment on the topic over my TikTok hater. And then I'm going to drop it like a bad habit and call it a flippin' night, folks. You know, a lot of folks in the fitness industry don't agree. I don't agree at all. I mean, there is 100 different theories on getting folks into shape. But one thing that never, ever, ever changes is going and getting active and getting into the gym and starting to make changes in your life. You know, we can have differing views and we can have mature conversations about it without bashing each other, bro. If you would have just been like, hey, bro, I disagree with you. Let's get on a live and let's communicate about it. Let's go over our, where we don't agree, all of our disagreements, you know what I mean? But no, instead, he took the very immature route and started bashing someone. I'm bigger than you, I'm bigger than you. Okay, and who cares? Who flipping cares, bro? I'm trying to be the best version of myself as I can be. Are you trying to be the best version of yourself that you can be? Because obviously you're not, because you're trying to bash me by trying to spread what I know about fitness and has gotten me to my goals in fitness. You get what I'm saying? And I believe so much of the fitness industry is divided that it's like, oh my gosh, you believe this thing, and you believe this thing, and you believe this thing. Why can't we all just come together and agree that health and fitness is a great way of life and is probably the only way of life anyone should be living, you know? A sedentary lifestyle isn't healthy. Eating unhealthy isn't healthy. Being morbidly obese isn't healthy. And we all know these things. We all know them. So why can't we get together, find out our disagreements, have a mature conversation about it, and meet somewhere in the middle? Because you're probably a little right, I'm probably a little right, and I'm probably a little wrong, and you're probably a little wrong, and somewhere in the middle, we're probably got it right on the flipping nail, if you know what I mean. I mean, that's just traditionally how life works. But folks, we have already grubbed down. We're going to go shower up and call it a flipping night. BillyGoat flipping loves you, and good night. So I guess what I'm trying to say is treat others with kindness, and, well, it'll also be returned to you. And if you don't, well, then you're just going to get ignored by someone, and you're going to look like a fool. You know what I mean? But good night, folks.